going the wrong way. I'm going to film you doing that bit. Just put your back on your camera, trying to get to the camera.
Out towards Chloe Rolly, wonderful step from the Scotland international, gliding away, running away, sprinting away, stunning score! Lewis on the wraparound. This might work out for Thompson. They're going to put a little bit more on it, and then they're over. Large on the ball, lovely flighted pass. Tatiana Hearn with a straight line, streaking towards the try line in the opening minute. She spills away, dives over the line. Wonderful fly from Tatiana Hearn.
Megan Gunner puts the afterburners on. Shannon Harris, 2-on-1 is Lydia Thompson. Oh no, you're not going to catch Lydia Thompson from there. Scott, oh, it's intercepted by Emily Scarrett. They won't catch Emily Scarrett from there. The long legs just eating up the ground. Oh, Chloe Rowley's making her way back, but she won't catch her. Emily Scarrett has been on fire.
Carson again, she's having an absolute stormer of a second half. The Canadian international still going, gets the offload out. Lottie Clark bursts away from the tackles, gives it off. Carson again, looks around the outside, Packer for the hat-trick. What a score from Saracens. What a comeback.
Someone ride with me. Oh my God, someone goes with me. Ride with me.
Turnover by Malloy. And McDonald sets off. Claudia McDonald. Mack is back and in fine style. Oh, it's a fine strike. Marston controlling brilliantly. That Bristol pack going forward. It's a penalty try. Oh, now there's a gap. Burgess.
Ride with me. Oh my God, someone goes with me.
Hello and welcome. Good afternoon to Loughborough University and to the Towers pitch here for this afternoon's live coverage of the Allianz Premier 15s. It is Loughborough Lightning against Wasps. Great to have you here. Third in the table against fourth in the table. We are expecting a right old ding-dong here this afternoon, and we're delighted you're with us. Also delighted to have Natasha Hunt with us. Mo, how are you? I can see there's a boot here.
Yeah, other than the obvious, no, really good, and really looking forward to this one, so it should be great.
Yeah, it should. We're excited to be reunited. We hope you're excited to be with us. It should be a great afternoon. Of course, it's been a big week as far as the women's game's concerned, and we should just touch upon that before we get into today's game. Mo, news this week, great news for the women's game about the global calendar from 2023. WXV, the new three-tier international competition, as it will be known. What have you made of it, first of all?
I just think it's brilliant. Like, it's what the game's been calling out for, obviously. To have that competition, to know that that calendar is in place, it's not changing, it's very secure, and as players to have the opportunity to play in something that's that vast and that can grow that much momentum is just fantastic.
Yeah, and we know it was meant to start next year, but actually with the postponement of the Rugby World Cup in New Zealand 2021 to 2022, it means that WXV and the global calendar now starts in 2023. We're not going to go into the whole thing for you because there are various parts to it, but we know certainly from an England fan's perspective, the WXV1 will be about the top three teams that finish in the Women's Six Nations. So let's say 2023 Women's Six Nations, there's a top three finish. England may be in there alongside France and let's say Ireland. For example, they will go on to play the top three of a new competition that'll take place between New Zealand, Australia, the USA and Canada. That's how that one will work. That competition yet to have a jazzy new name that someone in marketing will come up with. And that will happen every year. Then those teams will play each other in September and October over a 7-week tournament. So that tournament takes place every year. I mean, this is a really good opportunity for more consistent games of a higher level, more chances for teams like England to be running out against the Black Ferns, these kind of things.
100%, and we know that England have had the opportunity, so being an England player, I've had the opportunity to go out to New Zealand a couple of times and play, and it's amazing to go out there and experience that kind of rugby, but for these other nations to get the opportunity to do that in their playing careers is just unbelievable. And also, you touched on it there, but third place in the Six Nations has a real bite about it now. Like, you have to get into the third place to be playing these teams and to be going across the world and part of this proper competition from the top.
Yeah.
So I think that's just going to be unbelievable. It's going to make everything more competitive. Every game's competitive now, and that's what everyone wants.
Yeah, brilliant. Well, it's an excellent step up for the women's game across the board. In terms of then our attention on the Allianz Premier 15s this afternoon, well, of course, we mentioned third against fourth here. We're entering the business end of the season, really. Round 15 games, 3 rounds to go after this. Depending on how this game goes, if you get a Wasps victory here, Saracens doing the business on Exeter, the top 4 in this league could start to pull away.
Yeah, it really could. And as a Gloucester captain, that's obviously gutting for us as a squad.
sorry to mention that.
But it's amazing. And as you mentioned, if Wasps do the job and Saracens manage to get the win over Exeter, that could be a 9-point buffer for this team, which will just settle them. And then hopefully we'll see what they're about even more if they start to relax, they start to play their game and they start to pull away.
Yeah, and what about the personnel involved or not involved today?
Well, obviously from a Loughborough perspective, you've got at least 8 forwards, I think 6 of which are international pedigree that aren't available today or they're injured, which is just massive. And there's only 3 forwards on the bench, so how telling that will be we'll only know as the game goes on. But from a Wasp perspective, you've got Abby Dow, who is in ridiculous form at the minute. I don't know if you've seen any of the try lights, but some of the tries she's scoring is just unbelievable. She's got 9 from 10 appearances. You've got Ellie Kildun, on 6 from 7 appearances, and someone like Rona Lloyd, who's not available for Loughborough, who's got 8 tries in the campaign so far. So that could be a massive loss from if we're talking about wingers' perspective. And yeah, we just want to see them ball in hand. We want to see them run, and what a great track, what a great day for it.
Yes, it's set up beautifully. We don't need to give it any more hype than that, do we? So I think it's probably about time to check in with how the coaches are feeling ahead of this one. Let's catch up with them. They were speaking to Ashley Wilmot just a few minutes ago.
Giselle, big week for the women's game after World Rugby's announcement of the WXV new tournament. They're sourcing for 2023. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's really exciting. I think it gives a real focus and direction to the women's season. From a club perspective, we'll now know where the league will sit year in, year out, except obviously World Cup year, which will be slightly different. But that's really useful. I think it gives the players much more structure in how their season will look in terms of preparation. I think it's fantastic from a club perspective. And from the women's game perspective, to have a real noise around the game in September and October every year, with some fantastically well-matched games, which is what I really like about it. That, you know, we'll be bringing on loads more international rugby for the women's game, but really well-matched. And you've got to earn your right every single year, which I think is fantastic.
And now on to today. I don't know how your heart's coping at the moment. You've done Quins, Sarries, Exeter. They've all been very tight games.
Yeah, they have.
How have preparations been ahead of today?
We came up the night before, which shows the level of commitment that we've got to this. The girls have learnt an awful lot through those 3 games. They've never been more than 2 points in them. And that journey that you're on when you're managing really close games is fantastic development for every one of them and for us as a team. Today, it's a hugely important in terms of the outcome. But in order to do that well, we've got to stick to understanding the ways to get to that outcome and not getting engulfed by that outcome. So playing the game minute by minute by minute is the most important thing, rather than worrying about the fact of what we need to try to achieve from this game.
The breakdown and discipline in general is going to be a huge factor in today's game. Just talk us through your thoughts on those topics.
Okay, so from my perspective, the discipline in the game is really big for me at the moment. We played 7 minutes against Exeter with only 13 players, so that was pretty big. And to lose 2 players in the bin, of which one was our playmaker, is really, really difficult to adapt to. So discipline around the game and where it gets penalised and what's encouraged is a big issue within the game itself, not just here at Wasps. For me personally, I really think it's something that we've all got to look at. The breakdown, we've been working really hard on the ways to produce the best pictures for the referees, and I'm hopeful that that will mean that the penalty count is lower, because the type of style that we play, the way we move the ball, we need a low penalty count to get to that. We have to get through our phases to create a broken field, and if the whistle's going too often, that stops teams playing running rugby, and we play that very well. I think it's very entertaining to watch, and I want to have the opportunity to do that. So we've worked very hard on the areas that we believe that we can try to minimise that penalty count.
And how important is that W for you today?
It's massive for the journey of our season. For us to take the win today gives us a bit of breathing space in top 4. If we don't win today, it's still in our destiny, but it's very, very tight.
Well, best of luck today.
Thank you very much. Enjoy the game.
Reece, you're on a winning streak at the moment, so confidence must be sky high. How's the vibe in camp ahead of today?
Yeah, pretty good. You know, we set out our objectives at the start of the year, and we're still pretty focused in terms of getting a top 4 spot, and hopefully going one step further, which is obviously post-COVID year. It's important that we keep focused. You know, so pretty good. Obviously, we know it's going to be a bit of a tough game today.
Reshuffled pack this week. Just talk us through those changes. Is the forward force going to be an area you look to dominate today?
Yeah, it's probably been a long-term plan, really. Obviously, we had DMP last week, and it's been pretty much a squad effort from the start of the year. Opportunity to give people game time, which was good, and and obviously those players thrived in that game as well. So actually, selection was pretty tough this week coming into this game, but we're pretty clear with our job, and the pack we've chosen is definitely going to be a forward up front battle. Which if we win that, then we can pretty much do what we want out wide. So pretty excited about that.
Anyone we should keep our eye on? Anyone you're looking forward to seeing play?
Well, that's a great question. I'll sit on the fence. I think again, back to that squad effort. We've got to where we are because of everybody playing their part, and in particular, I'm really proud with actually how the squad preps for the week. Some players haven't played at all this year, and actually some people are getting the opportunity today as well. So I'm pretty excited to see some people come off the bench and make a difference. But we've got some stalwarts in that team as well. So if we see some of those big players step up, then we will be okay.
Best of luck today.
Cheers.
Well, great to hear the thoughts of Reece Edwards and, of course, of Giselle Mather, who is, talking very much about how Wasps want to play the game this afternoon, and, her focus on that area around the breakdown, about discipline, about penalties. Almost perhaps Natasha Hunt putting a little bit of pressure on Sarah Cox and how she wants to see the game interpreted this afternoon.
Yeah, definitely. If you know Giselle Mather, you know that she's an extremely passionate coach. She absolutely is so competitive, and she just wants the best for her athletes. And the style of rugby, as she alluded to, that Wasps are trying to play is this free-flowing, get the ball moving, 2 handling errors against that Exeter Chiefs side in 70 minutes. That just shows you what they're installing and what they're drilling down in Wasps.
Natasha Hunt, who was with us then in co-commentary for this sensational match we are awaiting in prospect. And well, here is a look at the rest of this weekend's games. It is Bristol Bears who are taking on Harlequins women. Gloucester Hartpury Mo's Club who are taking on Worcester Warriors. These are all 2 o'clock kickoffs, as you can see. Saracens Exeter, well, that is the other one in terms of the top half of the table, which could have a big bearing on how things look come the end of the day. And then a 2:30 kickoff. Sale Sharks women against DMP, 9 and 10th, fighting it out at the bottom there. But our focus, the big one in the middle, Loughborough Lightning in 3rd against Wasps in 4th. So Loughborough Lightning then, well, following their thumping of DMP, Reece Edwards makes 6 changes for the visit of Wasps. 3 come up front, with 2 of those in the front row. Harper and Menin return alongside the league's top try scorer and skipper, Lark Davis. There's no Georgia Bradley, so Bryony Field shores up the back row with Becky Noon at 8. Meg Davey is given the nod ahead of Irvas, who warms the bench. Ramsbottom and Goulden come into the back 3 with Hardy and Emily Scarrett in the centres. As for Wasps, well, coming off the back of a close defeat to new rivals Exeter, there are 8 changes to the starting lineup under Giselle Mather. Hannah West at Loosehead will celebrate her 50th Allianz Premier 15s appearance for her club, while elsewhere, having celebrated a very different lockdown St Patrick's Day earlier this week, 2 of the Irish contingency return from camp. Maloney starting at hooker and Claire Malloy in the 7s shirt. After a successful week in GB 7s camp, Abby Burton returns to the back row and Lucy Nye gets the nod at 9. line after a good performance against the Chiefs. Ellie Kildunn also returns to the starting lineup, slotting in at fullback as Abby Dow moves out to the wing. There's a look at the benches as well, of course. And well, there is a chance for Amanda Schwartz to make a debut, Loughborough number 23, and Hannah Edwards a late addition to the lineup as well. Liz Craik could be set for a 100th club appearance from the bench for Wasps. So plenty riding on this one as we see Celia Conser just bringing up the rear as Wasps make their way onto the field. As we said in the build-up to this, Giselle Mather bringing her team up the night before. We know that that happens in plenty of professional matches across the men's game, but it is a bit of change of behaviour as far as Giselle and this Wasps team are concerned. Wanted to get them up the night before, give them the chance of a relaxed morning, not having to travel, and give them the chance to be as focused for this one as possible. Would you say, Mohan, as athletes themselves, there would be that recognition, that little tweak of mindset?
Definitely. I think if it's something you're not normally doing, then definitely there might be that tweak. But for me personally, I absolutely love the bus ride with the girls, so it might be a bit different for this squad, but it just shows the importance that Giselle is putting onto this game.
And of course, Rugby wants to signal its intent and belief that there is no place for racism in the game, as observed.
Good choices!
What seems to be missing one?
So our referee for this one is Sarah Cox, assisted by James Clark and Jonathan Tetzing. And well, certainly a referee that will have a keen look at the breakdown area, will penalise defences. So Giselle Mather will no doubt be aware of that from the Wasps' perspective. Few personnel arguably could be missing from this Loughborough side, but well, Rhys Edwards saying to me, you either look at this as a glass half empty or a glass half full. And they've certainly got all the belief in the students that are part of the programme here as the game gets underway. A day which could see the top four move 9 points clear of the rest, depending on how other results go. And our focus game here on the England Rugby and Premier 15s channels is underway, and Wasps with a safe enough clearance.
Yeah, great start from Loughborough Lightning, isn't it? Really good execution on that kick from Helena Rowland. We know she's great at that. Puts Megan Jones under pressure, and not a great touch finder with somebody of her quality.
Loughborough then. First job of the day for Mark Davis is to get that in, and then it's played away through Helena Rowland, and in the centres Hardy. Oh, that's a nice ball to have found, but it was just a touch forwards, wasn't it, as Katie Trevarthen looked to try and come onto the ball. It was Hardy and Scarrett maybe combining in the midfield. Emily Scarrett, who of course now has her own podcast, we should mention. She was asked the question if she's Batman, who's her Robin. I think, Natasha Hunt, your name was in the frame.
It better have been.
Wasps then from the free kick, of course. There are these law variations to be compliant with COVID in a league which we know is not professional, doesn't have the full testing capacity. There is testing that takes place, but the games are reduced to 35 minutes. We have less scrums. It's all about mitigating that transmission risk. We appreciate some of you watching maybe thinking, well, if they're smashing into each other, what is the consideration? But it is all about a calculated mitigation of risk. So that is why we don't have as many scrums, knock-ons, and these sorts of things will be played with free kicks. Little chip through just to try and go for a bit of territory, but Rowland is onto that. Good. Sticks it downfield, goes over the head of Meg Jones, who's got a bit of work to do. That's support from Dow. Looks to just put the boot over the top. It was Ellie Kildunn, in fact, with the boot to ball. Trying to tidy it up is Lizzie Goulden. She's done well, Goulden. Davey, is under all sorts of pressure, and Wasps on their own terms have looked to try and turn that over. That is brilliant work from the visitors. Not going to allow Loughborough to have it all their own way in that area, and now they look to try and bust through the middle.
Okay.
Wasps with options to go left and right. Ball is played away from Sadia Kabeya and then gets in there to effect the clear out. Really good follow up from the back row, and then the little dribble ball that comes through, and that'll do nicely. Wasps just mixing it up from ball in hand and then boot to ball to send Loughborough back into their 22.
Yeah, just really clever, isn't it? Both teams are just trying to work out where the space is in that backfield. We know that they both want to run and attack with the ball, but we also know that they're very well drilled. They want to play rugby in the right areas of the pitch, and we're seeing the likes of Megan Jones against Helena Rowland. That is going to be a key battle this afternoon.
That was a good pick from Katie Trevarden at the back. It wasn't the cleanest of line-outs, wasn't where it was meant to go. Trevarden tidied it up, but then getting caught holding on is the call from Sarah Cox. So there is an opportunity for Jones to stick Wasps almost back to where they came, but this time from the penalty, of course, they will have the chance to have the throw into the line out. So this is a good platform for the visitors within the first couple of minutes.
It really is, and obviously with the adapted laws, you can only drive, you can only set up a maul when you're in either 22, so this is a really good attacking opportunity for Wasps to be able to set their platform, set their stall out and go from there. I'm saying that they're going to go off the top,
there
obviously.
We go. It's Harriet Miller-Mills who does a really good job of bringing it down. And then Wasps do go through the hands and then come to the right hand side. No chance of setting up the maul initially, and then good awareness to release the ball on the floor and then keep going. Claire Malloy working hard in there for Wasps, the Irish international. Building up to just a few metres out now. This is excellent attacking work from Wasps, looking to try and use the forwards as much as well. Lucy Knight.
You're too long to start with, too long.
Plays it away. Another pod looking to try and work their way through. Abby Dow was in there, accompanied by a couple of the stronger forwards. Now the work from Maud Muir. She's been in great form for the club recently, but it's well driven back by Loughborough. Solid work. Kath O'Donnell in there, doing some of the work to try and repel the visitors. Maud Muir has just lost a contact lens just out on the near side. But was for the central position. Lucy Knight eyeing up, going round the left-hand side, and solid Loughborough Lightning defence once more. Continue to recycle. Marina Burnfield called upon. Kabeya in there as well. Still going through the phases, Wasps. This is good continuity from Giselle Mather's side.
Great defensive work from Loughborough as well. Look at the leg drive in the tackle, driving them back. They haven't really got past the 5 metre line.
Now they've got a little bit of room on the outside. Oh, the offload is brilliant, and the try is scored. Wasps managed to get themselves through for the game's opening score. It's Amy Wilson-Hardy who touches down, and that was patience paying off.
Yeah, it really was. One thing about the Wasps attack, they are so good at the latch. Close quarter, they get really tight. Megan Jones, this is what she's been doing in the league all the time. You see Emily Scarrett come up, trying to block that pass, and the offload is just sublime. Absolutely fantastic finish. Great read from Amy Wilson-Hardy to be on her shoulder. I'm sure she was communicating as well. No right to score that.
Clark, you just make sure you can hear me.
Wasps take first blood then.
Okay.
Meg Jones to add the extras, and the flags are raised. It's a brilliant start for Wasps, leading by 7 points to 0.
It's just really clever play, isn't it? Obviously Loughborough have let themselves down a little bit. They've had a knock-on, they've had 2 issues at the breakdown, both with counter-ruck and also a penalty against. And they've just allowed Wasps to just creep up the pitch gradually, get themselves into an attacking opportunity, and we know they are deadly when they get there. Megan Jones, that is the key to stopping this Wasps defence, this Wasps attack, sorry. You need to stop her in order to get any foothold into this game.
Lightning into the hands of Muir. Really good tackle from Emma Hardy, just had to cling on there. Away from Nye.
Wasp side still!
Kildun. Ball played back in. Goulden to Rowland. going across field. Celia Quansah was, well, potentially in a position to have caught that, but it's just gone behind her. Decent nudge from Roland, and the kick forward is not the prettiest. Might allow a little bit of broken field for Loughborough to try and come forwards with it. Davey helps tidy it up, but again, it's Loughborough who are penalised for holding on, just not quite getting the support play there quick enough when it starts to break up.
Yeah, they really aren't. And the one thing we know about the Irish contingent, both Maloney and Malloy, they are so good over the ball. You have to go in numbers. If you're going to carry in close quarter, you have to be quicker to the breakdown. You look at this, Trevathan's just a little bit slow, O'Donnell's a little bit slow getting into there, body height too high, and that is exemplary body position from Maloney.
Maloney and Malloy. Sounds like they do you a good patio, doesn't it? Good Irish builders firm.
Honestly, they're so great in the loose, around the breakdown, tackle, everything. They really do add a lot to this Wasps team.
It's another untidy line out, and look at the battle at the back of it as well. Everything on the line. It's come back on the Lightning side. Kick downfield from Goulden. Put a big lick on that. That might prove to be too much. It's not too windy out there. I mean, it looked from the way the ball was skipping along there that there was a right old breeze. There isn't. I think it was just the nature of the ball on the surface. But we come all the way back for the offence in line with where the kick was taken. You may be able to just hear a little bit of the wind on the mic. So picking up a little, but that was an error as far as Loughborough are concerned, because, well, look where Wasps have the scrum.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just Loughborough trying to get in their game. They know that the pressure's now on. They're not used to going down so early. But what about Menon? I absolutely love watching Danica Menon play. Her leg drive through contact is one of the best in the league, and that was it in full force at the back of that line out there.
Loughborough, crouch.
Yeah, this is my ball and you're not having it.
Set.
Great to see a scrum in this game. We've been very limited this year in terms of scrums.
Nye, but older. Celia Quansah, I think, has just knocked over Avi Burton as she came forward onto that. Back in field. Maria Miller-Mills with the carry. Oh, that's really good hands from Claire Malloy just to pop it back up, and it's allowed Wasps to stay on the front foot here, and they're still going into the 22. The tackle was made though, ball's gone forwards, and Loughborough will have it. A crucial intervention from Emily Scarrett defensively, but the little tip on from Malloy was a beauty.
Really clever play by Scarrett, wasn't it? She knew that she needed to really make up the ground on Amy Wilson-Hardy, and instead of going low, she's just gone over the top. Look at this, Goulden, really good footwork, nothing she can do about it. Emily Scarrett, that swinging right arm just comes in, dislodges the ball, so clever.
Well, play resumed, of course, with the free kick. Does allow the tempo to continue. Ball kick downfield, and now Wasps are looking to return it. 10-metre line in Loughborough territory. Nye plays away to the left. Loughborough just cleared out in time, and that's an area where Wasps have just been a bit more superior than the hosts.
You've opened up the gap.
There was some accidental obstruction there.
No, number 8.
So
she's opened up the gap. Kate,
the penalty to Loughborough. You have to say, haven't been on the ball an awful lot in the opening 11 minutes.
They really haven't, but it's smart play. Loughborough at the moment are not contesting the breakdown, so Wasps are having the ride of that. They're taking their time. Lucy Nye is controlling the tempo at the back of there really well, fizzing it out when it needs to be, slowing it down when she's getting closer to the line and they're looking at their latches. But for me, Loughborough have to start competing there. They need to slow this Wasps attack down. They know they want to play. They want to play out wide, through the forwards, out to the backs as much as possible, and stop Megan Jones offloading.
It's another failed line out from well, we've seen a little bit from either side, but certainly Loughborough haven't quite been hitting their straps.
No, don't touch your knife.
They've been tidying it up and maintaining possession, but it's not been clean in terms of set piece. But they won't mind too much to be on the edge of the 20 through end of the 22 through Meg Davey, and then on to Lark Davis, leading try scorer in the league, and then Roland, and then looking on the little switch ball for Scarrett. We see her do that so many times for club and country. Now back away, giving a chance for Kath O'Donnell to get on the carry. Davey has options to the right, and Lark Davis involved, looking to try and combine with the front row, and they do have such mobility in the props in Natasha Harper and Dalika Menin, as Natasha Hunt has mentioned already. Now are we going to see a little bit of pick and go from Lightning? Indeed we are.
No, don't touch! Wasps, leave it!
Up front, Grant looking to try and get the players onto it. Bryony Field in there as well, as they try and come round the corner to draw in some of these Wasps forwards. Wasps trying to get the numbers in there. Sarah Cox has had to go in and have a closer look at that. Not quite there.
Short again!
Now,
Wasps, hands up!
having to check all corners of the breakdown to check whether Loughborough have smuggled their way through. Close quarter stuff from the home side.
Hands up! Hands up, Wasps!
Some of the Wasps defensive line are behind the try line. I don't understand it. At least be feet on the line trying to stop that try.
I think we're coming back for a penalty.
Hands in. You had an offside and a hands in that.
Largely
right, okay.
all Wasps for the opening 10-11 minutes of the game, but Loughborough Lightning now into, or knocking on the door on the Wasps line. Decisions to be made here, and well, look, it's not turning out to be too quick a decision at this point either, is it? But they have now reached one, and Helena Rowland from very central area on the pitch has got to make a safe touch, which she manages to do so. Of course, looking like the player in the frame for England following the retirement of Katie Daly-McLean. Helena Rowland is an accomplished performer. We saw her steering the ship for Loughborough Lightning in their memorable win against Harlequins just a few weeks ago. Loughborough Lightning come down with the ball. There's two outstretched arms from Emily Scarrett out in midfield, but the forwards look like they still want to do this, but if they don't continue to get this forward or get the ball to ground, it'll be a turnover to Wasps, so they need to be careful here. Sarah Cox, referee, pointing that the ball is available.
The ball is here. The ball is there, they can play it.
Ball is there and available. Meg Davey is told that she can play it. Good defence from Wasps this time.
Ball is here, you're trapping it in with your own players. Use the ball.
Another drive for the line.
No.
Lightning looking to try and go, dummying around the fringes. Is it the score for Davey?
Right, I definitely don't need you shouting held, okay? I'm here. I've got that held up, okay? It's a scrum.
Sarah Cox saying it was held up.
Stamping her authority early, isn't she? I don't need you shouting held. Here you go though, as a 9, if you're going to scoot there, it's a really good option. You've got to get that ball down, wriggle, do anything you can. Don't know how she's not managed to score this.
I thought they timed that well, considering. Yeah. Let's go, hold up.
Looks for all money that might be down, but Megan Jones, the ever present, she's there, she's got her hands underneath. And we've got a scrum, but this Loughborough scrum is very, very powerful. I wouldn't be surprised to see this be marched over. It will definitely be their intention. Go for a penalty at least.
Sarah Cox having to view what she's seen there. I mean, how Meg Davey hasn't got that down on the first look or the replays we've got to see. I mean, it's an immense defensive effort from Wasps if they managed it, but
around on the same.
Scrum has moved a fair bit. I think we're going to have this one reset.
It's one thing that's really lacking in the women's game at the minute, isn't it? That TMO opportunity. So many times tries have potentially been scored or knocked off. Just so important that there is that and the game moves on, because the play's definitely moved on. For me as well, that scrum looked for all money like Wasp stepped out and came around. Not that it just wheeled, so interesting for me that this is a reset and not a penalty against them. Really important when you're down in this scrum that you drive together so everyone goes forward. That's the only way that referees can give the penalty. Let's go, girl. If anyone steps out of the way, that's why you can be penalised against.
Set.
Davey. She's at Loughborough.
at the college doing higher education.
Let's get height and stability from both of you, okay?
Experience with Natasha Harper, Lark Davis, Dalika Menin.
For me, there's a lot of space on the far hand touchline, so you've got Kwanzaa in there defending on her own, you've got Meg Davey, who we've already seen has that pace, and you've also got Jones out there. She's kind of sat in behind the scrum at the minute, but would love to see her just accelerate around. This is 2-on-1 easily with the 8 picking, a 3-on-1 potentially. Easy score for me if you go down that side.
Scrum's not going anywhere for the minute, but then Loughborough do start to get a bit of a squeeze on, but they're going to have to try and use it. In fact, Wasps get themselves the penalty, and look at the arms going aloft. They work really hard, plenty of pressure in there, and Loughborough Lightning unable to take the opportunity of the visit to Wasps 22. And, well, you can see what it meant to the players.
Yeah, absolutely. Really good work from Wasps. They just waited, they were patient, everyone went together, but for me that just shows Becky Noon's inexperience at the back there. You're missing Georgia Bradley, you're missing Sarah Hunter, who are both so good at the back of the scrum.
Real loose ball here.
Leave it alone.
Lightning have gone for the quick line out, but it wasn't to hand, and now they're having to try and make it work. Oh, it wasn't the easiest of passes. And Helena Rowland, under plenty of pressure, has ended up just throwing that one into touch. So Wasps will have the line out. They're really up for this one, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. Look at this scrum again. You can just see all 8 forwards. Studs are in the ground, driving through. Looked like Becky Noon had hands on. If she could have just reached in a tiny bit sooner, I'm sure she would have got that out. But Loughborough just forcing the play at the minute. They're not used to this position, are they?
Abby Burton was one of those on that replay to be the first to leap into celebrating the turnover and the penalty.
And he didn't say anything, so I was like, oh, can you hear me?
7 points to 0, Wasps with the lead. We have the water break.
Jump time, what are you seeing?
Allow them all to get a bit of hydration.
Yep.
You called it as a ding-dong affair. I would absolutely say that's right at the moment.
It's not a technical term.
Yep. Both teams trying to play in the same way. They both like going out the back of their forwards. They both like to play in the attacking area of the field. They don't like spending much time down towards their own try line. They don't really run a lot of ball out. They're always looking to kick and find that space in the backfield. And both teams have got a ridiculous squad out on the pitch today, so we are definitely being treated.
Yes, we certainly are. It is tight, but there's plenty being put on the line. Loughborough Lightning conceding the try. Both clubs conceded 31 tries going into this, so defensively both pretty much on even par. Third in the table, Loughborough Lightning on 53 points coming into this one, having scored 64 tries this season. Wasps having scored 67, make that 68.
Ready?
Behind Saracens, who've scored 85 tries this season, by the way.
Wasps, you've got the option.
Loughborough Lightning, their last loss in the Premier 15s was back in December, so 2021 has been kind to them. In terms of their last three, 62-0 against Darlington Moden Park Sharks, 43-14 against Worcester.
You want a scrap?
Winning against Harlequins by 20 points to 17.
Scrub.
Wasps who lost out to Exeter, 29-31.
Yeah, right. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Losing bonus points.
Because you knocked it on the side.
Valuable, of course. Hearing that Sale Sharks are currently leading DMP by 7 points to 0.
It's not back on. Okay, Wasps crouch.
Play resuming.
Crouch.
Wasps in possession.
Bind. Set.
Harlequins women, 12 men up against Bristol Bears as things stand. It's going to be Lucy Nye on her 22nd appearance for the club. Gets the ball away, and then a nice flatter ball to try and find Wilson Hardy. Loughborough having to do lots of tackling, but that was a little high.
She slipped up.
Sort of jumped on the back and around the neck. Emily Scarrett there a little bit too much.
On the shoulder.
Yeah, it's a frustrating penalty to give away, isn't it? There's no real attacking threat in this part of the field other than that offloading game. Just get into your defensive set. At the minute, Loughborough having about 2 or 3 phases before they're giving away a penalty or allowing them to kick into touch. Interesting for me, Abby Dow's actually kicking into touch rather than Megan Jones. We know that she's great off the boot, and Abby Dow's definitely been working on her kicking game, but wouldn't put it down as a strength over Megan Jones, so not sure if that's an injury or what's going on.
Yes, Dow certainly being used with the right peg there. Then also in the England camp, just a momentary pause for a bit of attention, and is that on Meg Jones?
It is indeed.
So that might be part of the picture. Giselle Mather talking about Abby Dow as being different gravy.
She really is, and with quads and legs the size of hers, why wouldn't you want that kicking the ball into touch? Ridiculous boot.
Meg Jones, GB7 squad, joined the club this season, 13th club appearance.
Right, just shift over.
It's been a great signing for the Wasps Ladies, that has, hasn't it?
Alright, 2 seconds.
Top point scorer in the competition. Brilliant from the tee. She's the absolute general out there. You've seen how great she is by getting through the line and offloading.
You've got straight across.
Again, Loughborough just killing themselves a little bit.
Straight across.
Well, they've thrown a player up and across the line out. That's the call from Sarah Cox. And this time it is going to be the right boot of Meg Jones, and not quite got too many yards out of the assistant on the far touch line as perhaps she might have done, but it is another platform for Wasps. Cleona Maloney back after a couple of weeks. The Wasps hooker spent some time in the Irish camp, of course. Women's Six Nations starting next month.
No, hold!
It's a really tidy line-up from a Wasp perspective. Maloney getting in the box seat at the back, and now she gets the ball smuggled to her. They're all stacked on the right-hand side. Have Loughborough got any answer to it in terms of the up-front grunt, or is it going to be the try for Cleona Maloney? Wasps get their second of the match with 21 minutes on the clock, and it's catch and drive-tastic for the visitors.
Absolutely brilliant drills, wasn't it? The line out was absolute top of the jump for Onya Burnfield. Really good throw, and look how quickly they're into position. The ball transfer is fantastic back to Hannah West, back to Maloney, and again you just see the leg drive of the forwards. For me, there was a massive opportunity to go down the left-hand side there. Lucy Nye is so quick, but really good 9-play, keeping it in. You see Maloney's eyes are up the whole time. She's looking at the defence, she knows where to go. And Harriet Miller-Mills as well, just pulling everyone she can reach in to stop them. Brilliant drills.
Yeah, Harriet Miller-Mills just at the front of shot here. Look at her wrestling away with Bryony Field and just making sure that she could stay bound and bring everyone over the try line with her.
You can have a chat with them now.
Absolutely brilliant.
On your way back.
Jones gets another one through the sticks. She's got a 75% accuracy this season. 92 points with the boot, will make that 96 so far in this game, because Wasps are building themselves up a decent lead in this first half now. It is Loughborough Lightning 0, Wasps 14.
Yeah, if you're the Lightning coaches as well, I know Sarah Hunter will be pulling her hair out. 2 penalties have given them the opportunity to kick into the corner, go for the line out drive. Wasps have barely been in the 22. When they have, they've come away with 2 tries. Got to be better from a Loughborough perspective.
Yeah, not the easiest take from Maloney, and it has just gone forwards.
Yeah, knock on.
It was Burton.
Knock on. Knock on.
Burton who just lost it.
It's just not
got me blonde ponytails confused there.
It's a good kick though, really good chase, putting her under pressure. Abby Burton's tried to catch it above her head, which I know is a skill she's been working on, but really difficult to do when you've got the on-rushing attack.
Dalika Manning always on hand to make those yards, trying to find a little bit more width in the channels, but the rushed offload has only found the hands of Amy Wilson-Hardy for Wasps.
Clearance from Jones.
So make sure we complete them.
Oh, it's a brilliant one as well. Just got the bounce in the right area.
That's carried back, is it not? Is that carried back?
For me, Wasps have been great in the opening exchanges, but this is Loughborough killing themselves.
She was outside and then carried it back in. Yeah.
As I say that, they're being taken back and marched back, so Loughborough are going to get an opportunity. But at the minute, Loughborough, 3 phases, they've turned the ball over by O'Donnell trying to offload out of contact when it's not really on, straight into the hands of Amy Wilson-Hardy. You've barely had the ball, you've barely had territory, you've got to look after it when you're there.
I'd assume by the flag from the assistant on the far side that it had bounced before it went into touch from our commentary position, but clearly we've had to come back, so this does present a good opportunity for Loughborough. If the ball was passed back into the 22, of course, you can't then clear it direct to touch, so that's the nature of the offence. And now Loughborough Lightning will have a penalty which will allow them the chance to put this further into the corner and try and get themselves on the scoreboard. Helena Rowland.
Needs to come from the back foot rather than up the side and across.
Does enough to dink it in.
When you rejoined again.
Mark Davis
There you go.
in good form. Second on the points list, only Meg Jones of Wasps is ahead of her. 16 tries over the course of the season. A little bit of movement in the line out. It's still not a tidy takedown from a Loughborough perspective, and on this occasion it is going to come back
let go.
on the Wasp side, is it? Oh, it's a penalty. Oh, it was a knock-on.
Just on the 5 there.
So it's going to be a tap and go opportunity, and well, it looks like Kath O'Donnell is one of those queuing up to get a chance to bring this forwards. And it's into the hands of Lark Davis, who knows where the try line is, as we were just saying. They get themselves to within a few metres.
No, you had a second go.
Will it be the same way from Loughborough? Yes, it will. Emma Hardy just stopped short. Again, the arms outstretched from Emily Scarrett.
Ball is here. Don't play it, Wasps, hands up.
That's over the line.
Lightning trying to get through again, and this time the try is awarded. Front row effort, getting over the line, and they get themselves the score.
It's against the same place then. I think I've lost my tooth.
Lark Davis has got another one for the Lightning. She just cannot stop scoring, but it's a time in the match where they really needed to get themselves on the score sheet, Mo Hunt.
Yeah, they really did. They needed to come back firing, and brilliant leg drive. The added weight from the whole front row is just fantastic. You see Harper on her inside, I think it's Trevathan on her outside, and just a brilliant drive through. She's just gone head down straight away, as low as she can, underneath the defence of Abby Burton, and a fantastic finish. I asked her in the car park how many of your tries were on the back of a driving moor and how many of you actually ran in and scored, and she actually told me it was at least 5 that she'd ran and scored, and there's her 6, so brilliant stuff.
I like the idea of run and scored from 4 metres. I mean, it's technically accurate, still technically accurate. Emily Scarrett adds the extras. We've got a game on here, haven't we? Lightning 7, Wasps 14. 7 minutes till the 7-8 minutes until half time. Kildunn taking the restart duties.
Clear release.
Penalty to Loughborough.
You'd have been fine if you had a clear release.
Good here, no clear release, so Rowena Burnfield is told in no uncertain terms to get back, as she tried to stop the advancing Lightning.
Really good line, wasn't it, by Becky Noon? She just came out of the woodwork, really nice fade on it, got around the first defender, and a let off for Lightning. They can kick to the corner.
There you go.
40 metres up the pitch. Helena Rowland's got a ridiculous boot on her. They're starting to settle into their game now for sure, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely a little sense of just stopping that Wasp momentum a little bit and beginning to build some of their own. Line out still proving to be a bit of a problem in terms of hitting the mark, but they won't mind with Dalika Menin tidying it up and bringing it away. Haven't lost possession on too many times, as we've said, but could be a little cleaner. Kath O'Donnell with a carry.
She pulled away. No, Kate, no, leave it.
Rowland Not finding too much opportunity to get it through the hands of Hardy and Scarrett. Haven't really seen the centres combining too much, as I say that, Hardy does carry. Back in field. Good ship on from O'Donnell to keep it alive. Scarrett is on the run around here, trying to get around her fly half, and then looks back in field and gets the offload away. It's not tidy, and in fact it went forwards to a player in an offside position, so that is the result of the penalty. And Wasps fancy the chance to try and run this one, and Meg Jones is on an absolute flyer, making yards up the field. Goes for the dummy, she's still going here, and outside to Abby Dow. Oh, this could be an unbelievable score from Wasps. Opportunity presenting itself, and superbly taken. Abby Dow finishes it, and what a score.
I'm sorry, but there is absolutely no way Wasps had the right to score that try. Megan Jones, take a bow. She is carving up. When I say carving up, this is literally like a knife through butter. Straight through. Look how many of the Loughborough team have got their backs turned. Then when she sees Lizzie Golden come up into the line, she steps away, goes around the outside, dummies Hardy. That's the last chance of recovery. Just before she gets tackled, feeds the ball. What I love about this Wasps team, though, is that they know what she's going to do. Abby Dow has started her run and she has held the touchline the whole way up. She knows that Jones is going to work her way to her. It's clearly something they speak about. Just make sure you keep working with her, and it really is paying dividends right now for Wasps.
Well, when Abby Dow has already scored 9 tries this season, you're going to find a way to allow her to finish another one. It's almost one that should be credited to Meg Jones, but she knew exactly who she needed to put the icing on the cake. It's a 10th try for Abby Dow, and Jones with the trickiest kick of the match to try and add 2 more. That one will just fade away, but it's a brilliant riposte from the visitors. Having conceded a try from Lark Davis, they go back to 2 tries in front. It's Loughborough Lightning 7, Wasps 19 now.
All again, wasn't it, just from this offload out of the contact, Loughborough just not really getting into their strides, and then look at Jones's reaction here. Even her own team doesn't know what she's going to do. The amount of backs that are turned, Helena Rowland running away from the play, it's just lovely.
Restart. Let's just see Maud Muir with one of the biggest fens I think I've ever seen. It's straight back into the hands of Abby Dow, and Abby Dow is streaking down the touchline again. Can Helena Rowland stop this being a score? Oh, it's brilliant from Rowland on the cover tackle. For all intents and purposes, it looked like Dow might be in for 2 in 2 minutes. Let's hope the players are all right down there. But what a defensive effort from Helena Rowland.
That was brilliant, wasn't it? We talk about Helena Rowland so much, her attacking game, her control, what she brings, but that was just lovely. She tracked her so well. You can see the determination. This was Maud Muir's carry. Really good stuff, made about 20 metres. Abby Dow normally scores this every day of the week.
There you go.
This is fantastic. She had to go high. If she goes low, Dow can just dive and go for the line, but brilliant bit of defensive work from Helena Rowland. I just hope she's okay.
Huge moments these defensively then for Loughborough. They do get their line out right at a crucial time when they needed to. That was much cleaner. Now the chance to fire it back to Rowland under plenty of pressure, makes a great clearance. That's brilliant from the fly half. 1 minute tearing back defensively, and the next game management and coolness to make that clearance.
That could have been the game there. That's a massive swing in momentum. If Abby Dow goes under the sticks there, you're looking at 26 points versus 7 going in at half-time. Now they have a fighting chance. Absolutely brilliant play by Helena Rowland.
Wasps with the line out, in for Rowena Burnfield. Coming round the corner comes Maloney. Getting it back from her second row. It's there for Lucy Knight. Through Jones. Jones on the wraparound, having received it from Kate Alder. And then Kwanzaa. Was there a suggestion that that was slightly forward? We were right in line with that from our commentary position, but on we go, says Sarah Cox. Nye. It's Jones again. Lightning defence just needs to shore itself up here, because Wasps are beginning to get the run of it in those opportunities. Miller Mills.
think that last one needed to go from Jones. She had a 4-man overlap. She's doing great at running and taking the team on, but also she needs to recognise when it's time to just release. Your job is done. All of the defence are now held, watching what you do. Sometimes you can just let that ball fly through your hands and you're still having an impact. That's not that you're not impacting, that's that you're just playing them. You're toying with the defence.
It's got to be one of those fine balances, isn't it? As you're growing with confidence and playing well in the game, not to feel like you're then going to be responsible for running the show.
100%. Again, what an unbelievable kick from Helena Rowland.
Yes.
That's a good 50 metres she's just given her team. Interesting for me at the minute, obviously you've lost Georgia Bradley this week, you've also lost Rachel Malcolm, two of the line-out callers for Loughborough Lightning. I know they've been without Sarah Hunter for a lot of the season, but that has had huge disruptions for me in terms of this line-out and how it's functioning for Loughborough at the moment.
Ball's in. Maloney on the run around, couldn't quite be gathered. The free kick will go to Loughborough.
I've got time, or you got a little bit left?
And it is a story of the half that Loughborough have been knocking on the door. And, well, you mentioned, Mohan, about these games not having a TMO, and of course, we wonder whether that might have played a bit more of a role in possibly one, possibly two scores.
That was an anticlimax, I think that's time.
Has Sarah Cox decided? Yes, I think she's called half-time on that. For a moment I wasn't sure whether she was just calling a momentary break for each team, but indeed that will be the end of the first half. Well, what a first half we've been treated to, and as Natasha Hunt mentioned, it could have been another one for Wasps for Abby Dow, were it not for the heroic defence and speed of Helena Rowland to get back there. Brilliant from the Loughborough fly half, who knew perhaps how decisive that might have been. We have had 4 tries in the first half at Loughborough. Wilson Hardy, Maloney and Dow for Wasps, and Lark Davis for Loughborough. It means that at half-time it's Loughborough Lightning 7, Wasps 19. Well, if you are just joining us, we can show you how the first half has been looking.
Yeah, here you go, Jones doing what Jones does. Really good work. Attacking the line is clearly somebody they've targeted in the week, because you've got 4 defenders all eyeballing her, and then just lovely offload out of contact. Really brave. You can see how brave this is, 3 metres from the try line. It's not a low percentage offload though. She's got eyes on Wilson Hardy. Wilson Hardy is communicating. It's a brilliant line and a fantastic finish. Emily Scarrett just gets a little bit sold there. She loses Amy Wilson-Hardy where she's coming from, trying to stop the ball. Probably doesn't think that Megan Jones is going to throw that, because who would? Here's Loughborough again on the attack. This looked for all money that it was down, and then Meg Jones looks like she's getting her hands wriggling in underneath, and that's why Sarah Cox can't see anything. But really good play again from Davey. Takes the opportunity. No idea how that's not a try, but really unfortunate, because that was the riposte from Loughborough Lightning. Also not sure whether that ball could have gone. You've got Helena Rowland and Jones on the outside of, again, Celia Kwanzaa, the only person out there. Here we go with Wasps' second try, showing that they're not just looking for their backs to offload. Really good line-out drills. Maloney at the back, steering all the way. Harriet Miller-Mills going to work at the front, pulling in any Loughborough Lightning defender she can. Hannah West's leg drive, really good, and then just the push from Burnfield to Maloney. There you see the work of Harriet Miller-Mills, number 5 on her back.
Leading the charge, wasn't she? Rowena Burnfield in there as well. And then Loughborough through Lark Davis, adding another one to the tally. 17 tries now in the season.
Crazy stats, isn't it? Just really good set-up play. Davey, really nice flat fizzed pass. Lark Davis just drops her head soon as she catches the ball. Body height isn't an issue at all, nice and low. and the added weight of Harper coming on the inside to latch her through, Trevelyan on the outside. Also, you see this little slight bounce out. So normally if you're coming back towards the breakdown, that's where defences are loaded. When you see Lark take that ball, she bounces on the outside, joins up with her latch on the outside. Harper has weight from the inside. Brilliant work. And this, for me, this is try of the year. Poor defence from Loughborough. So many backs turned. You cannot let her go through that easily. Golden does her best to try and rectify things. Still chasing down, and then this again, another lovely offload round the back of Ramsbottom. Abby Dow take a bow.
There we go. What a finish it was. And here's another little chance to...
What I love about this is you just see the intensity that Megan Jones looks at. She's looking in the backfield now. She's scanned. She's getting the ball off Maloney. All of these Loughborough defenders still walking back, and she's taking it and gone. Rowland's going across the way. She doesn't have a clue that Jones is going to do it. And then it's just the footwork, the fend, the vision, the dummy, everything you want about a classy rugby player. All right, the pass was a little bit high, but that's my only criticism of it.
Tough crowd, Mo, tough crowd.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful play by Megan Jones. It's lovely work from Abby Dow. So easy there as a winger to come inside.
Now, this is what I love from Maud Muir. Just watch this right-hand fend. We missed this just as we were looking at our left-hand fend. My goodness me, sit down, Emma Hardy.
She's been great in D as well, so we know that's brilliant. Again, Golden having to come up to make that defensive effort. And Abby Dow, lovely. Love seeing her in full flight. But look at that. Look at that tackle from Rowland. That has kept her team in the game. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, avoided it being a 19-point gap at half-time by keeping that one out. It is Loughborough Lightning 7, Wasps Ladies 19 at the break. I think we hopefully will get some updates, but I'm hearing news that Saracens have had 2 yellow cards and have been down 10-14 against Exeter Chiefs. So it is all going on this afternoon. Great to have your company with us. Let's find out how Claudia MacDonald is viewing things. She's talking to Ashley Wilmot.
Thanks, Nick. Yes, I'm down pitch side with Claudia. Claudia, thanks for your time. A 12-point lead. A decent first half, right?
Yeah, really exciting first half. I think we saw some of the strengths that we have. You see the scrums that we turned over, the breaks by Meg Jones, Abby Dow, those sorts of things. So yeah, playing to our strengths at the moment.
And a few nice tries. I mean, there's 3 on the board already, especially from Abby Dow. That's spectacular.
Yeah, really, really good. I mean, you expect those sorts of things from her. She's a really powerful runner, really quick. So she's got a great handoff. If you're defending against her, you want to cut down her space nice and early.
Now, we know that Giselle Mather brought your side out the night before. Do you think that's changed the mindset of the players? They just feel raring to go, don't they?
Yeah, I think we knew how important this game was. So all the preparation was done knowing that this was an important game. But yeah, it's all going to be in the second half now. We've been in this position before where we've been up and then we've lost it against Quins and Exeter. So it's going to be about staying good to ourselves and actually winning the game now.
Giselle said that a main focus was going to be the breakdown and your discipline. What's your take on that?
Yeah, really good so far. I think we gave away a few too many penalties against Exeter, so it's nice to see that it's tightened up out there. We're not giving away as many penalties, so it'll be about keeping that as clean as possible and then playing to our strengths.
And it must be tough for yourself, obviously out with injury, just watching from the sidelines. When can we expect to see you on the field?
Yeah, it's always rubbish, isn't it? But hopefully in the next couple of weeks you'll see me running around.
And any kind of score predictions for the end of the match?
Oh.
Or is it too soon to tell?
Oh, it's a little too soon. I say, we haven't seen Loughborough attack very much at this moment, but I'm going to go, what are we on? 19-7. I'm going to go 34-14.
Well, we'll see.
There you go. Big second half ahead.
Best of luck. Thanks for your time.
Cool. Thanks very much.
Well, that will be quite the second half, won't it, if that's going to be our scoreline. Thank you, Ash. Thank you. Great to hear from Claudia MacDonald as well. So 7 points to 19. We will be resuming with the second half very, very soon. But, of course, if you are tuning in and you missed any of the action from round 14, well, we can bring you some of the highlights from that just now.
Natasha Hunt there, scoring after 17 seconds. Did you see that?
I did. Shortly after, I was stretching off, so we're not reliving that game anytime soon.
No, we're not, as Mo Hunt sits next to me with a fair old size left boot on the foot. But there we are. Just got the two teams off the field at the minute. We will be back resuming our coverage shortly. But we have a little film here from Sarah Moreira, who plays her rugby down at Worcester Warriors, and the athletic back rower has been giving us a little insight into life for her.
Eu sou Sara Moreira, jogava futebol pela seleção portuguesa de futebol feminino, agora jogo rugby para Worcester Warriors na Allianz Premier 15s. My parents are both African. My mum was born in Mozambique and my dad was born in Angola. Both their families made the decision to move to Lisbon in Portugal. This is where they both met each other and where I was born. I lived there until I was about 4 or 5 when my family made the decision to migrate to England. My early years in the UK, from what I remember, were good. I remember playing a lot, spending obviously a lot of time with my family because that's the only people I knew. Unfortunately, I didn't know a single word of English, but apparently that didn't seem to faze me. I actually contacted the director of football and expressed my interest in representing Portugal. I lived over here, so I never thought I would have got scouted. So I took matters into my own hands and got in contact with them. They replied. They asked if I could attend an observation camp in Portugal that summer. This was obviously everything I'd hoped for, so I didn't even think twice before I agreed to go. I was very overwhelmed and surprised by the fact that I was actually going to go and get a chance to prove myself over there. In football, I'd say my proudest moment would be getting my first cap for my country. And in rugby, I'd have to say it would be getting my first Prem start for Warriors against Bristol Bears at home last year. Sport built the person I am today. It has given me a lot of opportunities. It's also given me lifelong friends. So when I fell out of love with football, I was lost because it's the one thing that I had done and devoted all my time to since I was a young girl. So falling in love with rugby brought everything I had in football back. When I started playing, I wanted to train again, and importantly, I had the drive to try and be the best at something again. I worked for a boxing charity called Empire Fighting Chance, and luckily for me, they're really understanding with my rugby demands. It can be tough because when you finish a long day at work and you're tired and you know that your day's not over, you can't just go home and switch off. You then have to go straight to training. I guess it's about mentally being able to prepare yourself. My family are my biggest influences in my life. I've grown up seeing their work ethic and graft from a very young age, just so they were able to provide for us and give us a better life. Getting my university degree was a really special day, and my whole family were there to experience it with me, and I could just see how proud they all were, and that just really meant the absolute world to me.
Lovely to get a bit of insight there to Sarah Moreira. Here's a look at the scores that are currently the state of play elsewhere. Harlequins women are enjoying a rout against Bristol Bears, 33 points to 0. Mo Hunt will be pleased to see that Gloucester Hartpury are a score up against Worcester Warriors. No doubt hoping it was a bit more. There's our game, 7:19, with the second half about to resume as Wasps are just coming back to the field. But there is quite the scoreline at the Stonex Stadium. Saracens 10, Exeter Chiefs women 21. 2 yellow cards in there for Saracens, and Exeter Chiefs going incredibly well under Susie Appleby, and causing all sorts of upsets left, right and centre, beating teams in the top 4 for fun, it seems, over the course of the season. And Sale Sharks women 19, DMP 3. That is how things are looking. That one was a 2:30 kickoff, just to mark your card there. So we have a second half ready to get back underway. 3 tries to Wasps so far. They will be eyeing up a 4th try to bring home a bonus point victory. Loughborough Lightning, well, they've been playing so well all season. They haven't lost since December, and they are very much on the wrong side of the scoreline here. They haven't had too much possession. Their line-out hasn't quite been functioning. Mo Hunt, what would you say are the key things they need to bear in mind for the second 35 minutes?
I think they just need to relax a bit. They're obviously missing key individuals, which will have had an impact on their prep through the week. But for me, this isn't the Loughborough team that we know and love. Like, they have been playing so well all season, as you mentioned. Things just aren't clicking for them at the minute, and instead of relaxing and just going through the motions, going through the phases, they're trying to force it, and that's not what they need to do right now.
Voice of Natasha Hunt, England Rugby World Cup winning scrum half, who is with us, Gloucester Hartpury captain as well. And well, it's Ellie Kildunn who gets the second half underway for Wasps. Back with the club, of course, after a bit of England camp. Not featured so much this season, just her 9th appearance of the season for Kildunn, but now it is in the hands of Jones, and great architect of that try for Abby Dow in the first half, and then the kick forward from Kildunn, and she's giving a good chase on this, and the bounce of the ball is proving a challenge for Helena Rowland. Was she sufficiently allowed back to her feet before Kildunn got her hands on her? There's the penalty.
You're off your feet, that's called her.
Sarah Cox, I think, saying that
yeah, you got to just a little bit quicker.
Players were off their feet, so Helena Rowland did extremely well, really.
So well, so well. Her acceleration, her footwork is so good. One of the best in the women's game, but the bounce of the ball went over her right shoulder. She still had the ability to get back and regain it before the on-rushing Ellie Kildunn, who is ridiculously quick, managed to get there. Really, really impressive stuff. She is keeping her team in the game right now.
Ellie Kildunn, who, well, you mentioned it pre-match, Mo, 6 tries out of 8 club appearances this season. That is not a bad return. Of course, it's been Abby Dow who's added to her tally so far, but this is Lightning onto the ball and bringing Emily Scarrett into it. She's been relatively quiet, the former World Player of the Year, and that ball is a little bit loose. Goes off into touch. The suggestion of being able to pat it back in play from Olivia Jones, but we will have the line out.
Again, for me, do you need to throw a miss too from Rowland in that area? She's been so good defensively, mopping up for her team. I see why she's done it, but if you give that to Golden holds Kwanzaa as the last defender, then she can just little tip to Jones, who's flying down the wing. As soon as you throw a miss pass on the edge, it just allows the defence to drift even quicker than they would initially.
Well, particularly if you're under pressure as well, to make those right decisions for players to know exactly who the ball's going to.
Come back.
It's Muir. He has to tidy up the line out from Wasps' perspective. Being driven back in field. Jones, Alder, using the left hand to try and fend and get through. Really good leg drive from the inside centre, makes some key yards. Miller Mills is in field offering her, but she's going to have to ride pillion. She doesn't get the ball, but is in a real wrestle to help provide a bit of stability at the breakdown. Good hands from Kwanzaa. Oh, and then the fend. Celia Kwanzaa is flying down the left. Wasps are looking for this bonus point score early in the second half, and Celia Kwanzaa is going to be the one to steal it.
Just lovely play again, wasn't it? Really good ball transfer initially by Kwanzaa. Gets that long reach and arm out. Really great fend on the chest of Golden. Great pass from Lucy Knight out in front. Really good work from Maud Muir. Jones has just come way too early, sold herself. She's not doing anything there, needs to stay in the line, but don't take anything away from that finish.
Has been in camp with the GB7 squad, Kwanzaa, and shows a clean pair of heels to get over. It's Wasps' 4th try. It's their bonus point. And at the minute they're looking well placed to bring home the other 4. Got a game in hand against DMP Sharks, of course. And this is Meg Jones. This is looking good. Flags are raised. 6 points from the boot of Meg Jones. She's keeping this Wasp side ticking over with boot and with ball in hand.
Just really good footwork, wasn't it? She comes in, she goes out. Golden's just gone a little bit too high, makes the fend easy. And you're not stopping her from 22 metres out.
Seen a couple of moments from Lizzie Golden where it seems to have been just going a little high, perhaps in the attempted defence of Meg Jones's run towards the end of the first half, and there. Not the biggest Golden, but probably needs to try and use the shoulder a little lower.
Just popped her foot in touch.
It's very different for her. She's used to playing in the 10 shirt, so defensively you're surrounded by people, you're not isolated, you're not vulnerable, and you can go up and make those front on tackles. When you're in the backfield, very different because you're corner flagging, and for me personally I've only ever corner flagged, so I'm okay doing it, but it is, if I now have to go in the front line, very different, and I'm not so great at it. So it is a real different mindset shift, that clearly something that she's been working on, but as you mentioned, just needs to go lower.
Just a knock on here.
Just a knock on, allowing Wasps this free kick.
Don't take too much though.
I'm really enjoying the work of Lucy Knight. Every ball that she's thrown at the minute is allowing this back line to function because it's out in front, same with the forwards. Real good tempo about what she's doing.
Solid tackle on Maloney, allowing Emma Hardy to tidy it up. Wasps might catch themselves a little narrow here if Lightning could sense the opportunity and put some width on it, and that may be a recognition that has just been shown from Rowland, and it's going to be Scarrett who looks to get herself going over on the far side. Gets support, but Lightning have just run out of pitch. But that was a little better, a little bit more recognition of where the space was. Emily Scarrett deciding to take matters into her own hands.
As she so often does. She has this look about her when she decides that actually I'm just going to run with the ball, which you see here. Again, no right to get on the outside of West. Look at the defensive work from Miller Mills though, tracking back. Don't know why Jones has thrown that arm in there. She needs to watch that, because that could have been a yellow card, but Miller Mills just waits for Ransbottom to get that ball and just shepherds her into touch. Really good defensive work from her.
Penalty Wasps.
No, she's absolutely fine. You've got to roll a bit quicker. Like you're 5, your 6 has got to roll.
Katie Trevallen told she's got to roll away.
She allows you on the ball.
And with Giselle Mather now, I'd love to see no penalties really given in the second half, so we can see what these two teams are about. Let them play, let them keep hold of the ball, let them run with intent, because when they do, we are really being treated.
Wasps. Burton helps Miller Mills bring it down, then Jones, then Wilson Hardy. Good tackle in midfield from Lightning.
Back!
Just a little loose. Jones has got some tidying up to do. Decides to go with the kick, but there wasn't too much width on the winger there, and it's gone straight out as well. So she's not done too many things wrong so far, Meg Jones, but this will allow Loughborough Lightning to have the line out inside Wasps territory.
Yeah, it's just a bit forced, isn't it? Really difficult to go across the grain, so you'd never really want to kick from further than about the inside post, just because there's so much recovery time for defences to get back and read it. What she's done there, she's seen the space. I understand why she's executed the kick, but when you're rushed as a kicker, generally it doesn't usually end that well. So as you mentioned, hasn't done much wrong, but that one's definitely one that's given easy ball back to Loughborough.
Wasps interfering in the line. Did that just come forwards?
You're straight off your feet.
Players going off their feet to try and gain possession.
5, you must
going off their feet. Loughborough will have the penalty.
I love that as well. You just heard Harper come through the mic. Let's go, girls! you can see that she's really trying to drive this atmosphere. Obviously, no crowds being in, it's really tough to generate that excitement and that atmosphere from a home team. And
just on the edge.
We can't really hear a lot because we're on the inside, but hopefully this Loughborough bench are really getting behind their team right now.
Turn off. Cool.
Now, I think changes are being made here. Rhys Edwards has brought on the shepherd's crook for Lizzie Golden, and Helen Nelson has come onto the field, Scottish international. Hardy. Rowland. Scarrett is well lined up by Quansah.
Off our foot! Off our
Replacement as well at scrum half. Ella Vivas is onto the field as well, replacing Meg Davey. Changes in a couple of key positions there. Helen Nelson coming in to help the distribution. Nelson again. Eleanor Rowland still on the field, but Rowland dropping back a little bit. Lark Davis. We'll come to Natasha Hunt for her thoughts on that little shift there, perhaps just the option of, oh, and there's the intercept. Quick offload as well. Quansah, and through the hands, now it's with Kildunn, and Kildunn looking to try and find a bit of space. Using the feet brilliantly, Ellie Kildunn. It's Emily Scarrett who brings her down, her England teammate. There for Lucy Knight. Off to the right. Jones, oh, she's given it away to Hardy, and Hardy could have a run from here. Emma Hardy for Loughborough Lightning being chased down. Will no doubt be trying to hold herself up and look for a bit of support here. The attempted clear out.
She's got to be clear.
There's a penalty on the non-release. That's gone against Abby Dow. Quick tap from Helena Rowland. Trying to catch Wasps, not back 10, which that initial tackle would suggest to me they weren't. Is Sarah Cox looking for any more? Is there an advantage being played? Back in field. If Lightning are to keep in touch with Wasps, they need to get a score, and they need it soon. Trailing by 19 points. Third against fourth in the Allianz Premier 15s table. Wasps looking to secure their place in the top four. As we get towards the business end of this season, it's Lark Davis.
Yeah, good work.
Try scorer for Lightning. Ball shipped away. Abby de Good. Now Anya Richmond, of course. De Good, Canadian, who came across a little bit late into the season, but's now finding her feet. But it's another ball for Cleona Maloney to intercept. And it's just a little bit telegraphed from Loughborough Lightning. It seems to be working well when they're giving the forwards the ball 1 and 2 out, but as they seem to expand to more, it's just being lost.
It's back!
Lucy Knight just loses it. It's gone backwards. Back in the hands of Kabea. Then Rowena Burnfield trying to push her way through. Then Knight as Maloney and Burton. Miller Mills in support, as well as Claire Malloy. Good low pick-up from Maud Muir. Spent the last 3 weeks in the England camp. Oh, it's just been lost forwards from Wasps. Now this will be the free kick chance for Loughborough Lightning, but plenty of ball in play time there.
I don't even know where to start.
Hang on, turn off.
Really good work from Loughborough to get themselves into a position. Really good option to go nice and quick on that tap. Defence was napping, but as you mentioned, I think that they were hard done by there by not being back 10. I think Kabea made the tackle on Rowland, which stopped the play initially. But Maloney, if you know that she's just intercepted one, don't throw that ball. As you mentioned, it's so telegraphed. You know what they're doing. They're going one out. Their pick and go game's so strong. Loughborough Lightning's pick and go game is so strong. Just get in nice and tight. Don't risk the pass. Don't risk the offload when you're 5 metres out from the try line.
And thinking about their victory against Harlequins, which wasn't too long ago, the likes of Dalika Menin and Ditasha Harper, who were so important that day in their carries and being on the shoulder, and we're seeing glimpses of that, but they seem to just be fading away from it, and that's where the errors are creeping in.
Absolutely. Low risk rugby. If you need to get yourself back into a game, you need to grind. Low risk rugby is the way to go.
This is Lark Davis.
There you go, mate. I
And
got
look at the tackle effort from Rowena Burnfield. She's normally used to herding the cattle around the dairy farmer, but she was certainly up for the big beasts of Loughborough Lightning there. And plenty of pressure. Emily Scarrett having to tidy up after the lost ball from Nelson.
She's
and a ton of pressure on Ella Vivas as well. Wasps still hungry defensively. But then it's the drive forwards. That was better from Menin. Was that ball out on the side? Oh, it has gone forwards.
On the floor, and that's made it pop out the side.
Emma Hardy trying to tidy it up, but Claire Malloy was there and alert to it. The knock-on will bring about the free kick. And Wasps at this point can afford to take as much time as they want.
Yeah, just frustrate them. I wouldn't be surprised to see this go in the air if they tap and play for here. I'm not sure where they are. But you just see a bit more bite, don't you, about this Loughborough attack now. Their carries, their leg drive through contact. Just hope for them that it's not too little too late.
Jones with the dummy.
Stripped!
Oh, it's been ripped away from Lightning though. And Davis will try and straighten. Supported in there from De Good. Rowland. That's been knocked forwards in the tackle.
Just a knock on in the tackle, that's all.
Really good tactical change for me. Helen Nelson coming on. I think she's really added a bit of tempo about this attack. It allows Helena Rowland to play a bit of a freer game because as soon as she's carrying or in the contact, we're looking for the phase after. She's just stepping up as that first receiver. Passing threat, running threat, kicking threat.
Well done. Well done.
It's almost taking the responsibility away from Rowland to be the sole decision maker at every moment, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Oh, and then it is a quick distribution from Rowland.
You can't kick the ball
Rowland
in
and
the
Nelson
ruck.
combining there.
Yeah, you kick the ball in the ruck.
But there is a real sense of urgency now with
You've disrupted the ball and that's how it's come out the back. You just kicked it.
16-17 minutes of the match remaining. There is time for Loughborough Lightning. But they need to get on with it.
There is, and one thing we know about Wasps is they've had the lead before.
Oh, you've got to make touch. Sorry, Mo, just to cut across you. Ellie Kildunn will make a very relaxed clearance and make some excellent yards into the Loughborough Lightning half. And, well, if anything tells you about where things are at, it's the body language of Emily Scarrett as that bounced into touch. Just a sense of this does not feel like our day at the office.
Not at all. Again for Rowland as well, she's gone across the pitch. She seemed much closer to the far touchline than she was to that one. So interesting for me that she's kicked across. I don't know whether it was a crossfield attacking option or whether she's gone to hit touch, but as you mentioned, you've just got to hit touch there. That was their one way back in, wasn't it? And if there's anything about this Wasps team, they have been up and they've lost the lead in a few games recently against Exeter last week. So if Loughborough can start pulling back,
you're done.
That might play on their mindset.
Yep, no worries, mate.
Sammy Wong is on for Lucy Knight. Wasps change at scrum half. Davis. Oh, they've gone for the little cute one at the front. They've got to make sure that the pass is... just seeing Lark Davis almost overrun the support line there, but it's worked out for them. But then not releasing on the floor. And again, it just seems to be that question of Loughborough Lightning getting the right numbers there to make the clear out or the support around the breakdown. Interesting talking to Giselle Mather about... We heard it mentioned in her interview with Ashley Wilmot at the start of the game about the state of the game around this area and that it's a complex area. Speaking to her during the week, she'd love it to be a bit more simple, and in order to be able to play the sort of rugby that Wasps want to play, just saying that they need their discipline to be right, so they're not going in for too many 50-50s, choosing their moment, and again they choose it brilliantly there to get the penalty.
Just really clever from Jones, wasn't it? Stayed on her feet, allowed Davis with her low body position to just help herself to the floor and straight in over the ball. Clever play.
Jones, it's brilliant offload work to find Kildunn. But the ball was loose and cleared up by Katie Trevarthen.
That's a good counter-ruck!
And it's lost again to Wasps. Counter-ruck was good, as you can hear from referee Sarah Cox.
Leave it.
Miller Mills, Kildunn, sensing a chance to try and drift on the outside shoulder of Hardy, but in the tackle the ball's been lost forward and finds its way into touch. The initial knock-on will be
Tom off.
what Sarah Cox is looking at.
Really clever work at the line out. That's Maud Muir's tackle all day, but if you just watch here, Lark Davis goes nice and low. Jones just helps her to the floor, so she's straight on her feet, straight on the ball. O'Donnell's got to do better there. She's a brilliant player, but she's just got to absolutely smash Jones there.
Rowland from the penalty, not looking for any more than to put this into the hands. And Tasha Harper, the one to do the job.
So much space in the backfield as well. There's only 2 people back there.
Just step back. Yeah, well done.
Definitely needs to be played in the right areas. I know they're chasing a game, but don't chase it from your own try line, because you give Wasps an in if you turn this ball over.
I guess the only look might be if they've dropped 2 back, then maybe there's a little bit more room in the defensive line to play with ball in hand, but they're still very much in their own half, aren't they, Lightning? And it's then the run from De Good. Penalty, Loughborough.
That's how she's gotten the ball.
And they're going to tap. Ella Vivas.
Be careful.
Trying to keep Loughborough Lightning on the front foot. Emma Hardy. Ball outside. Wasp defence up quickly. Vivas coming back to the right. Dalika Menin. Oh, and then picking up the ball, having released it on the floor. Cabello with a good tackle. Then the offload goes to Kath O'Donnell. These are the moments that Loughborough Lightning need to be quick to the breakdown. It worked for them. Not the easiest pass for Nelson to take. Now Scarrett, where's she trying to get through? Quanta in there to make the tackle. The forwards do enough to keep out the prying hands of Wasps, and then it's Menin again with the carry. This is better from Loughborough Lightning. O'Donnell thought about the offload.
No, don't pin her in.
Again, just tighten up that 9 pass. Doesn't need to be that long. You just need to get outside the third defender and then really attack.
They've asked as well. The ball was
slow ball, isn't it, for Lightning? Davis. Low chop tackle from Burnfield.
No.
Vivas again. Wasp defence is just being given that extra second or two, as Natasha Hunt says, to get themselves reset. And the forwards are rucking and slowing it down. It's a collective effort as far as the black and gold shirts are concerned defensively at the minute. Cutting back in field, good little step from Trevarden to try and get round the first defender there. But again, we have us having trouble making it quick play. Then Scarrett on the Emily Scarrett inside cut pass. Nelson wanted to try and get that outside for Liv Jones, but was under an awful lot of pressure, didn't have the time. Options now, Davis with Harper. Harper will take it. Look at the drive back and the tackle from Sadia Cabello.
You need to be careful with this ball because it's out, okay? No, leave it 7! You're off your feet. Stay there, stay there.
Again, it's just the width of that pass from 9. So important to tighten that up, because he's just allowing defences time to get off the line. Chop low, leg drive through the contact.
Where are we, mate?
Now blast on the referee's whistle from Sarah Cox, and
you've got 2.
it's another penalty.
One penalty here for 13 gold being offside. But you've got 1 there for you kicking.
For me as well, what I've enjoyed about Loughborough attack is that they're starting to come back blind an awful lot, and that's where the space is. Wasps are so good at getting around the corner and defending that line. They're not so good at holding the short side. So since Nelson's come on, she's picked that a couple of times. They've come back to her through Wirus, through Nelson, attacked the short side and got really good ground from it. So something that they've clearly looked at.
Loughborough Lightning 7, Wasps 26.
Hang on, Tom, did you?
News from the Stonex Stadium. It is Saracens who have got themselves back in the lead, having been trailing by 10 to 21. It's 25-21 there now.
Just 2 seconds. You okay? Yeah, perfect. No probs. Right, there you go.
Story of the table this weekend is whether the top 4 can start to put a little bit more daylight between themselves and the rest of the chasing pack. Exeter Chiefs, who are leading that charge, and they had been leading against Saracens, but Wasps currently looking to take 5 points from Loughborough Lightning. They would hope to get 5 points from a game in hand against DMP Sharks as well. And if Exeter are denied anything in that Saracens game, then we could see a 9-point advantage being built up between 4th and 5th with 3 rounds to go. Another free kick goes the way of Loughborough Lightning.
You are not on 10. Right, 2 seconds.
If I was Loughborough here, I'd set them up, go back blind, because we know that Wasps are folding 2 round the corner every time.
They're going direct through Davis. Almost couldn't expect much more. She nearly managed a second crack at it as well. Now they go for the run from Menin.
Yeah, don't touch.
Into the hands of Becky Noon.
Tackle!
Of course, Sarah Hunter will be hoping to try and get back into the Loughborough Lightning shirt, but is it Lark Davis who's got another one?
Stop it.
Absolutely ridiculous, isn't it? No one else is allowed to score.
That is just nuts, isn't it? Captain Fantastic on the day. What's that, her 18th of the season?
Yes.
It's just because they're in
That's remarkable. Remarkable from Lark Davis. Absolutely brilliant finish. I've got my hands in my head because of the amount of space on the blind side. They don't seem to be getting anywhere, Loughborough Lightning, when they keep coming open and they're driving through, and then step up Lark Davis. Look at that run, she just timed it perfectly. Cabella was still getting back on side. She's attacked the right person. Brilliant stuff.
So we've got a water break now between the sides, and well, there's a chance for us all to catch our breath, quite frankly.
What did you do?
Loughborough Lightning 14, Wasps 26, 12 points between the two sides, and Lark Davis scoring her 18th try of the Allianz Premier 15 season.
Yep.
For me as well, the detail of Wirus picking around the breakdown, it just holds Malloy, and then Lark Davis's line, she targets Cabella because she's still getting back on side. It's brilliant work, a very well taken try.
I've got the ball out, so we move through. That second one, the ball wasn't out, and I'm absolutely with you on it. Yeah. No, it's good. I'd rather that call and then I say, oh no, ball's out because I'm closer. No, it's perfect. Yeah, no, exactly. She's just a little bit slower, so the ball's presented back and we've got a bit of a gap.
Wonder what's being said in this huddle at the minute. If I was them, I'd be saying, look at the blindside opportunities, because there are so many opportunities going through the blindside at the minute. When you hit up, coming open, and then you can swing back and go blind. Hold your speedsters out there. Wasps are folding a lot of people around the corner, which is why Loughborough seem to be making no ground on their carries. First things first though, catch this, exit well, and then go to work.
Of course, it's a good day out for Hannah West. Currently, Wasps in a good position on the scoreboard on a 50th Allianz Premier 15's appearance. She'd love to get herself on the score sheet as well, because she'd be up to 150 points for the club. But in the meantime, the restart from Wasps has been allowed to skip through. Loughborough Lightning will have the line out.
That's crushing from a Loughborough Lightning perspective, isn't it? Olivia Jones was there underneath the ball. You've just got to catch, as I just mentioned, catch and exit well. You've got yourself with a bit of a fighting chance. Now it's advantage to Wasps again.
And they bring it down from the top of the line out. Away from Maloney.
She's done well at the back of the line out all game, hasn't she?
Been a good linchpin in linking the forwards and backs. Out to the right it goes. Jones stepping back inside. Just getting away from the tackle of Ramsbottom. Cabella. Sadia Cabella has been another bright light in terms of the Wasp back row. Then they quickly go round the far side. Wasps looking to build in reply.
Don't touch it!
To get a fifth try on the board.
It's all right.
a drive over the line. It is the try for Wasps, and that will surely cut Loughborough Lightning deep at this stage. It's Sadia Kabea with the score. She's got her second for the club. New face this year.
No, it's way gone.
Just turned 19 years of age. She's been putting in dominant tackles against the likes of Exeter, setting the defensive bar, but she's also popping up to score them as well.
It's just really good setup, isn't it? Great ball from Malloy at the bottom of the ruck, and how many tries have Wasps scored like that? Just the three-prong. They've got the ball carrier, a latch outside, and somebody in behind us. Maloney again, just leg drive through the contact.
That's about 40 gone.
And you're never stopping them if you're going to go that high. Emma Hardy defensively has been really good all game, but on that one she's just gone too high. You've got to get underneath them. All too easy for Wasps at the moment.
Conversion effort's just been pushed past the far upright. Loughborough Lightning 14. Wasps 31 now.
Just the confidence, isn't it? Malloy, so often you see players wait and scream no 9. Sammy Wong's not there to pass the ball, but she just steps up, throws it out, trusts her back row buddies, and a brilliant finish from Kabea.
Emily Scarrett is tearing after this, or she ends up colliding with Harriet Miller-Mills.
No, I thought you ran into the back of her. That's the picture I've got.
Has a word with the officials as well. Clever play from Harriet Miller-Mills. She's very good at those little off-the-ball things. But we know how good Emily Scarrett is in the air. She's fantastic. Definitely something that all teams talk about when they come up against her, because it is definitely a key. Clever work from Miller-Mills.
Kabea just unable to bring that one down from the top of the line out.
No,
just
she's absolutely fine. It's just
slightly knocked forwards. So it's a free kick to Loughborough Lightning.
Right, let's make sure we're 10, okay?
Less than 5 minutes according to our clock. The pitch clock has it about 7 minutes. It'll be Sarah Cox, who of course is the final arbiter. It's men in again. Canadian putting in a shift. A little bit more depth from Roland that time, and able to have a bit more time to find the pass to De Good. But Wasps lined up the Lightning second row well.
You've got to be higher when you come in.
And players going off their feet.
So harsh for me, that is.
22
Nelson is, she goes nice and low, but as soon as she's hit that, she's bounced back to her feet. No one was really there to make the compete, and for me, you're killing attacking rugby. I see why, and obviously Sarah Cox has just said that it's the same that she gave earlier for Wasps, which I completely agree with, and is all we ask is for consistency in the refereeing. But here you see a nice flat ball again. Would have liked to see that go out the back. I think Amy Wilson-Hardy might have spotted.
You got time check as well?
Hands on the ball pass, maybe that's why, but Kate Older for me was never in a position to compete with that ball. It's just the pictures the referees see in a snapshot, isn't it? Really hard to make those decisions that quickly.
Right, just wait until I go out the back and I'll put time on. Look.
Wasps will be very content to take their time, play a bit of keep ball game management at this stage.
I said wait until our time goes back on. We're still not
moments
finished,
at this point
okay?
that Giselle Mather is probably looking at the scoreboard, looking at the time left, and beginning to think about those conversations she had with the powers that be at Wasps. She said, "You're taking the team up the night before. I'm not sure we've done this before." Well, look at what it might be doing to their plans to secure top 4 in this Allianz Premier 15 season. Liv Jones is now, well, she's playing for fun at the minute. Comes around the outside and then sticks the ball back. Emily Scarrett with a ton of pressure on her, and look at that, the cool customer that she is. Gets around 1, gets around 2, and now Scarrett cutting back in field and outside the 22 and still going. She's a one-woman train, Emily Scarrett, up over the halfway line. Sensational from the England centre, and the team get a penalty as well. Your mate's not had a bad run there, has she?
Yeah, brilliant, isn't it? Just want to see her with hands on ball and with that stubbornness to not get tackled more often, because as soon as she turns her mindset to it, that's what she does week in, week out, and so often she gets her teams out of a hole, whether that's for England, whether it's for Loughborough Lightning, whether it used to be for Lichfield back in the day. Such a good runner of the ball, but sometimes I think she just plays to let everyone else play. Here you see the first initial break by Megan Jones. Just goes round Ramsbottom, little chip over, and look at this. You're talking about calm and collected. Because of how quickly the Megan Jones is coming on.
We're just going to cut back to the live pictures because Loughborough are building again. Although just as we say that commentator's curse, they've lost it forwards.
It's a free kick.
Yeah, and here she goes, shapes to kick, goes around Maloney, just loses her feet a bit too early, but Sammy Wong's got to come up there just to help Maloney out a little bit. And there you go, through the leg drive, the tackle. Kate Older, what a chop that is. Abby Dowan lucky not to get hands on ball there.
If you take the line, take the line.
Glimpse of some vintage Scarrett there. But you won't thank me for that.
Please, can we see more?
Yeah. Well, there hasn't been too much front foot ball to set the likes of Hardy and Scarrett away, but bit of broken field, we saw it there from the Lightning outside centre and England start. Lightning get the penalty. Where was?
Left her to her feet. You held on too long. You've got to let go as a tackler. She wanted to return to her feet.
Hearing news of the scoreline at the StoneX now looking more secure from a Saracens perspective. 34 points to 21 now. And of course, if they can deny Exeter a score, deny them a 4-try bonus, they're out of touch for a losing bonus. We could be in that situation where the top 4 pull away this afternoon. Big moments in the context of the 2020-2021 Allianz Premier 15 season. It's Emily Scarrett on the ball again for Lightning. Decides she's going to go for a little chip and chase. It stays low though, and Cabella is able to tidy it up and straightens and takes the contact.
What about that kick from Abby Dell though? She's just moved that about 70 metres downfield. Completely take back everything I said about her kicking to touch in the first half. Brilliant stuff.
Sammy Wong in there. She won't rush the distribution at this stage. Shorter ball, it's a dummy run from Muir. Alder. Wong. Replacements on for Wasps in the forwards as well, and Jones, who, well, just enough done from Nelson to bring her down, but Dower's got some room to go again here, looking to try and get the ball back in field for the support, but it wasn't quite the right option to chuck it. Good decision making. Wasps are shaping to look for a 6th try now. The final nail in the coffin. Oh, the ball out to Dow was loose. Tidies it up, and the try's been scored. Emily Scarrett is not too sure about it in the corner, but Sarah Cox seems pretty convinced.
We're going to have to start calling her Abby Wow. Can't take credit. Karis Williams texted me in the break to make sure that I give her a little shout out, but again, Amy Wilson-Hardy can probably throw that pass a little bit earlier. Ramsbottom was definitely held.
So the try does not stand, it will be a penalty against you.
Emily Scarrett saying that it's crossing again. Is it Miller Mills? Such a clever player. Look at her just shifting her out, can't make the tackle. And again, without that TMO opportunity.
No try, obstruction.
Can't be looked at.
Oh, well, actually on the field we have had the advice that's come in, and the penalty's been given.
Do you know what? If that wasn't Emily Scarrett asking for it, I don't think they'd have given it. But the stature and
Got a couple of minutes,
what everyone thinks about Emily Scarrett as a rugby player, I think that's probably added a lot of weight to that decision making. She's definitely never overturned something for me before, I say that.
Okay, time off.
Like royalty, isn't it? I'm terribly sorry, ma'am. Well, the officials getting to the right decision. We had the benefit of the replay ourselves, and there was certainly a little bit of canny work from Harriet Miller-Mills to keep Emily Scarrett off making that defensive interception, or intervention, I should say. So, the right decision. Try is chalked off.
Clever play from both of them, wasn't it? Miller-Mills for dropping the shoulder and the hips, and Emily Scarrett for throwing her arms in the air, making sure that they were aware what was happening.
1, 2.
Again, Loughborough can't secure their own ball at the line out. Pressure back on.
Last few seconds. Wasps content to play and secure a valuable win. Jones. It's a little bit of a loose pass out to the left side. Dowers across to try and tidy it up. Wong. Big carry through the middle. Support line from Sarah Mitchelson. Miller-Mills tried to reach out and get that one, but it's Alder who will make the carry in the end. Cavea goes low again. Score of Wasps' last try. Maloney trying to step through, taking some of the Loughborough Lightning defenders with her to try and set up the platform. An advantage being played. Jones. Wasps are going to get in at the corner, and they do get the score. Abby Dow adds another one to the tally, and she crosses 250 points for Wasps in the process. Her second try of the match, and quite the accolade for the player in her 6th season for the club. It's the final nail in the coffin as far as Loughborough Lightning are concerned.
Such a good finish, isn't it? What I've wanted from Jones in this game a little bit more is just that couple steps forward, hold the defence. Everyone knows she's a threat. Look what it does to all of the defenders' eyes. They're on her and she just fizzes it out. Brilliant distribution. Fantastic finish from Abby Dow.
I've not heard from the referee Mike, but I'm guessing this is probably the last action of the match.
It'd be lovely to see Jones nudge this over to finish off a superb afternoon for her.
She was just past the far upright a moment ago. It's just gone past the near upright this time, but it is a comprehensive victory in the end for Wasps. And well, just before we round things up, Natasha Hunt, your player of the match.
Yeah, there she is on screen. Great shots for her. But Maloney, I just think she's been absolutely fantastic all game. She's been that link between the forwards and back. She's been brilliant at her drills in line out. She's been fantastic around the back of the line out. And people like that allow other people like Megan Jones to go to work. And for me, she's been so strong today. So that is why my Allianz Premier 15's man of the match is Maloney.
Clear Maloney getting the gong courtesy of Natasha Hunt, and fully deserving as well. Well, what a performance it's been from Wasps.
Yes. Yeah, give us a go.
Giselle Mather will no doubt be absolutely thrilled. 6 tries to 2 in the end. Made to look very convincing. Final score at the Towers Field in Loughborough is Lightning 14.
This pitch,
Wasps 36. If you're just joining our coverage, well, we've been treated, as I say, to 8 tries over the course of it, and it all started with this one from Amy Wilson-Hardy.
Yeah, it's just lovely play, isn't it? Jones, as she did all game, tested the defensive line, went at them, sucks in 3-4 defenders, and then an audacious offload out the back to Amy Wilson-Hardy. Probably one of the easiest finishes she's ever done. It's just lovely play. And a brilliant offload. You see what it means? Maud Muir's one to watch for her reactions and her celebrations in the competition. Saw her in the background, and here's Loughborough. Wasps again. Maloney, look at that. The drills on that. Burnfield straight up, reaching out, and just the detail of this at the back of the maul from Maloney. Eyes are up, looking forward. Real good awareness, great transfer from West. She didn't let go till she knew she was completely hands-on. Harriet Miller-Mills as well at the front, who's had a really strong game, just really clever play, a lot around the park, holding in defenders, and a brilliant finish. Here's the Loughborough try. We thought this was the comeback. Start of the 14-7 comeback. Lark Davis, as she's done all season. Unbelievable stats for a hooker. Gets over again, but just the detail of this catch. Really good work from Davis, puts it in front, bounces out, latch inside, outside, and really good leg drive through. This for me is the try of the tournament so far. Megan Jones just slicing through the defence. Loughborough Lightning absolutely napping. Really good footwork, lovely dummy, and then over the top to Abby Dow, and that's brilliant winger play for me. She's kept coming, she's held her whip, she's allowed Jones to work, bring the ball to her. Fantastic finish. Here you see it again, you just see the intensity that Megan Jones gets this ball. She's calling for crossing, arms are in the air. In the backfield you can see her, the white skin's on, grabs the ball, bang, she's off. It's the intent at which she goes with. Straight through the first tackle, fends Golden round the outside. Golden does really well to come back and make this hit now, but too little too late.
Like an Olympic sprinter.
Just lovely, isn't it? Great take from Maud Muir. This is from the kickoff. Unbelievable fend on a very good defender. Goes 15-20 metres at the pitch, and Abby Dow again in full flight. We love to see it. And what about this from Roland? Just beautiful. Really, really good tracking work. Again, lovely hands. Maud Muir in there. And Kwanzaa again just holding her whip. Let the ball come to you. When you've got players like that can pass the ball, they can fizz it across the defensive line, they've got the vision that Jones has.
Fourth try, of course, that started the second half. Kwanzaa showing a clean pair of heels to get over.
Really important one as well. Fourth try is the bonus point. Here you go, Becky Noon with the big carry, and again Lark Davis, just lovely work back towards the ball. Ella Virus, really nice, just little step, engages Claire Malloy, allows that space to open up. There's our player of the match as well underneath, trying to stop that ball from being scored. She really does play with the heart on her sleeve. And this was the absolute killer blow for Loughborough. Really good work by Kabea. Just leg drive, you see it again, Maloney in the back again, so good. Worked so hard all day for her team.
And it was just at the point as well, wasn't it? Just after Loughborough got it to within 12 points. The Wasps came straight back downfield and stole another. This was a lovely moment from Emily Scarrett.
There she is, World Player of the Year, showing her stride. Straight through. Just that stubbornness, as I said, not to get tackled. And a really, really good tackle in the end from Older.
Helps when you've got a set of pins like that, doesn't it?
I take 4 steps to her 1 to put it into context. And this was again lovely play. 2 steps forward from Jones, Fantastic finish from Abby Dow. Off her wing, she's come onto the other side, that's Kwanzaa's wing. Work rate is always really high with Abby Dow. It's fantastic work from Wasps to wrap off a really, really good afternoon's work.
Well, thanks, Mo. Loughborough Lightning then 14, Wasps at 36. Plenty of reaction. Let's head down and join Ashley Wilmot.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, I'm down pitch side with Reece Thanks, Nick. Yeah, I'm down pitch side with Reece Edwards. Not a happy bunny. Obviously, not a great day at the office for your side. Just what was your take on that?
Yeah, no, it's disappointing more than anything. I wouldn't say I'm not happy. I think we showed real glimpses of our character towards the end. We knew it wasn't going to be easy with a Wasps team like this, and to give a team like that head start like we did in the first half, we can't expect to win games with that many mistakes. So I think it's a lesson we probably needed in the run up to the next couple of games with the top four obviously being a big ambition of ours. So yeah, we can't make that many mistakes ultimately.
Especially in the first half, it felt like when you did have the ball in hand, you were able to capitalise on it, but they didn't really give you that much opportunity.
No, and again, it's down to us really. We gave the ball away too cheaply. We spent a lot of possessions defending, and pressure builds pretty quickly. I thought we showed really good glimpses in defence. We're what we're capable of, but ultimately, you defend too many times, you're gonna concede points, especially in the area of the field. So, the message half time was basically we need to keep ball, and I thought pleased that we did that second half. But again, we did really well to score, and then we made a mistake off the restart, and then they scored pretty quickly after. So I think that's probably the lesson of the day, where we just got to be on it all the way through.
I mean, yeah, not the scoreline you wanted, but there were some nice individual performances today. I mean, like David, she's not really leaving any room for anyone else to score, is she?
No, she's been in unbelievable form this year. I think she's one of the best hookers in the world in this form, and her consistency across the games is backing that up as well. And I thought when we moved Emily to full back as well, you saw give her opportunity with the ball in hand, and so some key players like that are important to us, but it's across the board. It's a team effort, and that's probably the bit I'm more frustrated about, that we probably weren't on it 1 to sort of 23.
And we're just saying, next week you face Exeter away. I mean, what are you going to be working on?
Just again, what we can control. It's about us. Our destiny's in our hands really. As long as we're more accurate and more efficient with what we do, then we pretty much would be okay. But Exeter away is going to be a bit of a tough trip in the form they've been on. So it's about making sure that we're clear and focused going there.
Well done today. Well, commiserations, sorry. Great effort, and best of luck next week. Thanks for your time, Reece.
No problem, thank you.
So a bit of reaction from Reece Edwards there. There we are in terms of results, and it's a huge win for Harlequins women against Bristol Bears. They will pick up 5 points there. Gloucester Hartpury, I think there may have even been a late score there, so 21-17 I think it is now against Worcester Warriors. And Saracens, well, that is a result at the Stonex. What a turnaround. Saracens trailing by 10 points to 21 at the break, but they have won there. And if you've got your calculators or your notepads in front of you, then I can just tell you that it basically means that Saracens are on 67 points, Quins are on 61, Loughborough Lightning on 53 and Wasps on 51, but they've got a game in hand, of course, against DMP. Now, we make no assumptions about that, but Wasps will certainly be hoping to take 5 points from that, which could mean once that game's played, we're in the position where the top four have that 9-point gap to Exeter in 44. A potentially pivotal weekend as we move into the last 3 rounds of this Allianz Premier 15 season. Well, let's get some more reaction pitch side from Wasps and Ashley Wilmot.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, I'm down here with Maloney. What a fantastic game for your side. Just take us through your thoughts on that.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, we come up here with a purpose, and that was to get away with a comprehensive win. We didn't just want to come out in the first half and show what we can do and fall away where we sometimes have before. We wanted to really hit home and continue that pressure all throughout the second half as well. So that was really our goal, and that was our goal during the week, and to bring physicality throughout the whole game rather than to be slipping off. So I think we did achieve that, and we're just delighted to get the win.
I mean, yourself as well. The second try was a team effort, I guess, but you were the one who got the point. You were the one who done it down. It must feel good.
Oh yeah, but hooker can't claim a maul try. You know, we're not allowed to do that. It's a forwards try and it's a team try, I guess, too. But it's really a forwards try. But yeah, it's good to get on the end of them, but it comes again off the end of a massive team effort. You know, and we've really worked on our set piece too, especially against a really good team like Loughborough. You know, they've got Lark in at hooker, and their set piece is normally excellent, and it's probably somewhere that we've struggled a little bit before against them too.
That forward force today from your side really gave you the edge. You must be really pleased with that.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, huge team performance, and that was something that we were aiming for today. And you know, all the players that come off the bench too. I know 2 didn't get on, but we really needed kind of every inch and every player to give everything they had.
Well, congratulations, you're Allianz Player of the Match, and I'm just going to bring in head coach Giselle Maida, who's very happy. Nice smile from you, and I can hear you. We can all hear you from the sideline. It's always such a joy because you're so invested in the game. Just take us through the first half. It felt like the momentum from your side was unstoppable.
Yeah, I think, you know, the forwards worked incredibly hard today. You know, I think most people acknowledge that our backs are often, you know, try scorers, etc., etc. But the platform the forwards gave today, our forwards coach LJ Lewis has been working unbelievably hard with them. Their set piece today, unbelievable. Line out both from attack and defence, and you know that really disrupted Loughborough's momentum. And then the defensive effort, Ollie Bishop works really hard with that, our defence coach, and I thought the girls responded in every way. We really needed this game today. We've had some close games that we've been well ahead and should have won and didn't, and I think those lessons in the journey that we've had this season, the girls have brought them out onto the field today and put in a really strong performance.
Pre-match we were talking about, you said you wanted a low penalty count, and that's pretty much what you got today.
Yeah, and again that discipline work, how we're working our breakdown, the things that we're doing now at breakdown to try and do that, and I felt it was refed very well, and allowed the game to play, and that's what open running rugby needs. You have to be able to put 2 or 3 phases to break down a defence, because the defences now in the Allianz Premier 15s they're so good that you can't just expect to do something phase 1, 2, so you need the ball to be in play for a little while, and then once you do that, that's when the spaces appear, the mismatches happen, and the players, you know, I've got some fantastic players out there who are good enough to spot those moments and exploit them, which is where our tries pretty much came from today.
Your international expertise and experience there on the field just shone as well, especially in the likes of Abby Dow.
Yeah, she's a very powerful runner. She really, you know, enjoys the opportunities with, you know, almost prefers it, I think, when there's people in front of her as opposed to putting her away in space. And she's, so powerful in the contact area. And an eye for the try line is an understatement where she's concerned.
And you face the Sharks next week?
Yes, we do. Home game for us against them. We still, you know, the Six Nations is almost upon us as well. So management of those athletes is going to be really important. And yeah, we can move forward now. But knowing that we've opened up just a little bit of a gap now in that race for the playoffs, which is what today for us was all about. And we've achieved it quite well.
Well done today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well done, guys.
Giselle Maida looking like the cat that got the cream. Very, very satisfied with her team's performance, isn't she? And well she might be. It was a superb display from Wasps this afternoon. Treated to it here on the live stream, and we hope you've enjoyed it. Just to mark your card for, the next couple of matches that are coming up on England Rugby. Saturday, March the 27th, next week, it is Saracens women against Harlequins at the Stonex Stadium. That will be another cracker. And then April the 17th, as we're in the run of Women's Six Nations matches, we are back at Lightning as they take on Saracens. April 17th, those both 2 o'clock kickoffs. Well, 6 tries to 2. Giselle Maida wanted her side to have all the preparation time this morning to come up and do a job, they have. Loughborough Lightning lose for the first time this year. Wasps secure themselves a place in that top 4. For now, from all of us, it's a very good afternoon.
Chloe Rolly, wonderful step from the Scotland international. Gliding away, running away, sprinting away, stunning score! Lewis on the wraparound. This might work out for Thompson. They're going to put a little bit more on it, and then they're over. Large on the ball, lovely flighted pass. Tatiana Hearn with a straight line, streaking towards the try line in the opening minute. She spills away, dives over the line. Wonderful try from Tatiana Hearn.
Megan Gunner puts the afterburners on. Shannon Harris, 2-on-1 is Lydia Thompson. Oh no, you're not going to catch Lydia Thompson from there. Scott, oh, it's intercepted by Emily Scarrett. They won't catch Emily Scarrett from there. The long legs just eating up the ground. Oh, Chloe Rowley's making her way back, but she won't catch her. Emily Scarrett has been on fire.
Carson again, she's having an absolute stormer of a second half. The Canadian international still going, gets the offload out. Lottie Clark bursts away from the tackles, gives it off. Carson again, looks around the outside, Packer for the hat-trick. What a score from Saracens. What a comeback.
Ride with me, all my girls with me. Ride with me.
Turnover by Malloy. And McDonald sets off. Claudia McDonald. Mack is back and in fine style. Oh, it's a fine strike. Marston controlling brilliantly. Bristol Pack going forward. It's a penalty try. Oh, now there's a gap. Burgess